in the recovery of the WhatsApp chats as well, but then the lawyers were misled about this aspect as well, and as such the lawyers maintain that this is a illegal detention. Now coming to what senior advocate Amit Desai, who was arguing for Arbaz Merchant, he also said some interesting things. He said that in the initial trial, Section 28, which talks about abetment to crime, and Section 29, which talks about conspiracy under the NDPS Act, they were not put in for the first three respondents. They were merely charged with consumption and possession of small quantity, for which the punishment is just under 1 year. And then ideally, as per the procedures, notices under Section 41A of the CRPC should have been given to these people so that they could have presented themselves in front of the police officials for any inquiry, and that bail should have been given, but that this process was not followed. They were not given any notices as well, again pointing out that the proper procedures by the Narcotics Control Bureau were not followed, and they were hell-bent on making this case as if it was a case of conspiracy.
Okay.
They have also, of course, as I said, they gave reference to the two arrested accused who were granted bail by the NDPS court. They would hope, the lawyers will today hope that will come as a booster, and because they're going to say in front of the honorable court that the special NDPS court has granted bail to these two people who are also present on the cruise, but only from one of them small quantity was recovered. And that was not even a commercial quantity, and that a parity should be given to rest of the arrested accused as well. I'll again go back, Sneha, to the kind of arguments that are going on by the ASG, and as we were saying from the very start, what the Narcotics Control Bureau is going to rely on the WhatsApp chat conversation. They are going to form the very basis for the conspiracy charge which the Narcotics Control Bureau is trying to establish to corner the first three respondents, that is Aryan, Arbaz and Munmun Dhamecha.
Yes, and more updates in fact coming in, and we just mentioned this, but the ASG in fact has told the court the cruise was only for 2 days. Drugs could not have been for personal consumption. Obviously, Pankaj hinting at the fact that it was for peddling, it was for commercial sale and use. But this is just a statement, it's a presumption. Again, the ASG has said nothing to back what they've said in court, that it was just for 2 days. It could not have been for personal consumption, isn't it?
Yes, Neha, I think the onus lies on the Narcotics Control Bureau now.
Yes.
They will have to come out with corroborative evidence here. They will have to show that commercial quantity was there in the ship. They will have to show that these people, especially the first three respondents, had applied their minds and were conscious awareness of the rave party that was to take place, and they would have consumed the drugs. So it's a mighty, right now it seems, it's a mighty task in front of the Narcotics Control Bureau, because case after case, reference after reference, we've seen given by the lawyers in front of the court of law, which says that for the first time offenders, where in small quantity has been found, jail has to be an exception. Bail has to be a rule and jail has to be an exception, and that the task has to be more, the focus most has to be on reformation rather than giving jail to the youth and the first-time offenders as well. And since the Narcotics Control Bureau is relying heavily on the WhatsApp chat conversation and on the conspiracy angle, here they will have to convince the court that the arrested accused were in fact a part of a larger conspiracy, that they were hand in glove with the various drug peddlers, and that they were well aware and they had planned in advance.